My name's Demi, and I used to think being the dependable daughter was something to be proud of. I pulled into the driveway after my double shift at the hospital. I've been working 70-hour weeks for 6 months, ever since my mom called crying about Ivy's tuition. "Demi, sweetie, I don't know what to do," she'd sobbed. "The university sent a final notice. If we don't pay $8,000 by Friday, Ivy loses her spot in the nursing program." "What about the fund Dad left?" "That's complicated. It's tied up in investments. We can't touch it without penalties." So I'd picked up extra shifts, skipped meals, canceled my vacation. I wrote that check for $8,000. I unlocked the front door and immediately knew something was wrong. The house was too quiet, and there was a chemical smell like fresh paint. "Mom?" I called out. "In the kitchen, honey." I walked through the living room and stopped. The family photos on the mantel had been rearranged. My graduation picture was gone. So was my 21st birthday photo. Mom was at the kitchen table with Aunt Paula, both drinking coffee. "Hey," I said slowly. "What's going on? Where are my graduation photos?" "Oh, those," Mom waved her hand. "Ivy wanted to redecorate. She's very particular about aesthetics now that she's in college." "Redecorate?" My stomach dropped. "Mom, where's my stuff?" "Well," Mom said carefully, "Ivy needed more space. She's taking online classes from home this semester, and she needed a proper study environment." "More space? You mean my room?" "It makes sense, Demi. You're hardly ever here with your schedule, and Ivy's education is important." I ran upstairs and threw open my bedroom door. Empty. The walls were painted lavender. Ivy's desk sat where my bed used to be, her bookshelf, her lamp. "Where is my bed?" My voice cracked. "Where are my things?" Mom had followed me upstairs, Aunt Paula behind her. "Your old furniture was taking up too much space. We donated most of it." "You donated my furniture? My books? My clothes?" "Don't be dramatic. I saved your important documents in a box in the garage. The clothes were outdated anyway." "I paid for Ivy's tuition," I said, shaking. $8,000, 6 months of overtime, and you emptied my room? "And we're very grateful, but your job's done now. Ivy's enrolled. She needs to focus on her studies without distractions." "My job's done?" Ivy appeared in the doorway, holding a coffee mug. "Demi, you're being really loud," she said. "I have an exam to study for." "In my room." "It's my room now. Mom and I talked about it. You're 26 and still living at home. I'm building my future." "With my money. In my space." Ivy shrugged. "You make more than I do. It's not like you needed that money for anything specific." Aunt Paula spoke up. "Demi, honey, maybe you should just accept this. Your mom did what she thought was best for the family." "Best for the family," I said quietly. "Don't take that tone," Mom snapped. "We've all made sacrifices. I've sacrificed having my own space to give you girls opportunities." "What sacrifices? You told me Dad's fund was tied up in investments. Where's that money?" Mom's face went blank. "That's none of your concern." "I just gave you $8,000. It's absolutely my concern." "That money was a gift. Gifts don't come with conditions." "I didn't know the condition was losing my bedroom." Ivy sighed dramatically. "Can you guys fight somewhere else? Seriously, I have organic chemistry in the morning." I looked at my sister, really looked at her. Designer jeans, Apple Watch, $300 North Face jacket. "How long?" I asked Mom. "How long have you been planning this?" "Planning what? We're just adapting to changing circumstances." "Since when? Since I wrote the check?" Aunt Paula stood. "Lorraine, maybe we should—" "Paula, stay out of this," Mom cut her off. Then to me, "You're being incredibly selfish. Your sister is trying to build a career, a real career, not just working shifts at a hospital." "I'm a registered nurse." And Ivy's going to be a nurse practitioner. She has ambition. The words hit like a slap. I stood there in the doorway of what used to be my room, looking at my mother, my sister, my aunt, and realized I was completely alone. I stayed at my coworker Tasha's apartment that night. Morning came with a text from Mom. "Your box is in the garage. Don't make a scene." I went back when they'd be out. My box was 3 cardboard boxes shoved behind the lawnmower. First box, tax documents, old birthday cards. Second box, sweaters I never wore, random kitchen items. The third box made my hands shake. Bank statements, an account I'd never seen. My name was on it. The transactions weren't mine. Withdrawals, dozens, $500 to $3,000 each. Transfer to Lorraine Voss checking. 2 years of transfers. Opened when I was 19, right after Dad died. Initial deposit, $47,000. Dad's life insurance. Current balance, $236. Looking for something? Aunt Paula stood in the doorway. "Did you know?" I asked. "Your mom needed help after your dad died. The bills. So she stole from me. She was struggling. She told me my fund was tied up in investments. I worked through nursing school. I have $60,000 in student loans. You turned out fine. I would have helped if she'd asked, but she lied." "What are you going to do?" "I don't know yet." I loaded the boxes and drove to a different bank. New account. Transferred everything. Changed my phone plan. 17 missed calls from Mom by the time I got back. I didn't answer. I found something else online. A joint credit card from when I was 20. I'd never signed anything. $14,000 balance. Target, Nordstrom, the furniture store. My credit score had dropped 70 points. Ivy called. "What the hell, Demi? Mom said you stole from her account." "I closed my own account, the one you thought was a family ATM. We needed that money for bills. I paid $8,000 for your tuition 3 weeks ago. Where did it go?" Silence. "Where?" I repeated. "Mom said she'd handle it." "Check your student portal, right now." Typing. Then Ivy's breath caught. "Outstanding balance of $8,000. There's a hold on my account." "She didn't pay it." "But you gave her—" "Yeah, and she kept it." "What do we do?" "We? You took my room. You spent my money. You told me I was being loud while studying in my bedroom." "I didn't know about the money. Can you talk to Mom?" "No, your job's done, remember? Figure it out yourself." I hung up. The next morning I got a lawyer. His name was Jerome Whitfield, and he specialized in family financial abuse. "This is textbook fraud," Jerome said, looking at my statements. "Unauthorized access, forged credit applications, misappropriation of insurance funds. Your mother's been doing this for years." "Can I get the money back?" "Some of it. But the question is, what do you want? Criminal prosecution? Civil suit?" "I want consequences," I said. "Then we build a case. But family court gets ugly. Your mother will claim she had permission. Your sister might testify against you." "Let them." I didn't answer a single call from my family for 2 weeks while we documented everything. Mom started showing up at the hospital. Security escorted her out twice. Ivy sent texts that alternated between begging and blaming. "Please just talk to Mom. She's having panic attacks. You're tearing this family apart over money. Dad would be so disappointed in you." 3 weeks after I'd moved out, Ivy called from a number I didn't recognize. "The university dropped me," she said immediately. "They dropped me from all my classes. I'm not enrolled anymore." "I'm sorry," I said. "That's not what I wanted." "Then fix it. Just drop this legal thing. Mom said she'll pay you back." "With what money? The money she stole from me?" "She made a mistake. People make mistakes." "For 2 years? That's not a mistake. That's a choice." Ivy's voice turned hard. You're doing this to punish us. You're vindictive, and I can't believe I ever looked up to you. You looked up to me? I asked quietly. When? When you were moving into my bedroom? When you were spending money from my stolen accounts? I didn't know. You didn't ask. You didn't question why suddenly there was money for your designer clothes and new furniture. So did Mom. So did Aunt Paula when Mom paid off her car loan. That stopped me. Mom paid off Aunt Paula's car with my money? Ivy went quiet. How much? I asked. I don't know. 12,000? Maybe 15? I hung up and called Jerome immediately. Add my aunt to the investigation. 2 days later, he called back. Your aunt's car loan was paid off last year. Cashier's check from your mother's account. $5,000 withdrawal from your fund. Good, I said. I want her to know exactly what she enabled. That weekend, Aunt Paula showed up at Tasha's apartment. I answered the door but didn't invite her in. What? Your mother is falling apart. She can't eat. She can't sleep. You're killing her with this. She stole from me for years and you helped her. You knew. I didn't know the details. But you knew enough. You knew she was taking money from somewhere. You knew I was working myself sick, and you benefited when she paid off your car. Aunt Paula's face went red. That was a gift. With my money my dad left for me. You took it and then told me to accept being kicked out because life isn't fair. I'm trying to keep this family together. There is no family, I said. There's just people who use each other, and I'm done being used. Drop the legal case. We'll figure out a payment plan. Your mom will make it right. No, she won't. And I don't want her to. I want everyone to know exactly who she is. Aunt Paula's expression shifted. You're going to regret this. When you're alone and you have nobody, you'll regret pushing us all away. I'm already alone, I said. I've been alone this whole time. I just didn't realize it. I closed the door in her face. The civil suit took 4 months to file. Mom's lawyer argued I'd given verbal permission to access my accounts, that this was a misunderstanding between family members, not fraud. My lawyer presented the emails, the forged credit card signature, the fact that I'd worked full-time through nursing school while my college fund supposedly sat untouched. The judge wasn't impressed. Mrs. Voss, he said during the hearing, you're claiming your daughter gave you permission to withdraw funds from an account opened with her father's life insurance money. She knew I was struggling, Mom said. She wanted to help. Then why did you tell her the funds were tied up in investments? Mom stumbled. I didn't want her to worry about the details. Or you didn't want her to know you were taking the money, the judge said flatly. The judgment came 3 weeks later. Mom owed me $46,700 plus court costs. The fraudulent credit card debt was removed from my record. Aunt Paula was ordered to repay $5,000. Mom had to sell the house to pay the settlement. Ivy tried one more time to reconcile. She showed up at the hospital on a Tuesday evening, waiting by my car. I'm not here to fight, she said. I just want to understand. Was it worth it? Destroying everything over money. It wasn't about money, I said. It was about her using me and then throwing me away when I'd served my purpose. She made a mistake. She's sorry. She wrote you a letter. Ivy held out an envelope. I didn't take it. I don't want her apology, I said. You're going to lose all of us over this. Me, Mom, Aunt Paula, the whole family. Is that what you want? I looked at my sister. She'd lost weight. She dropped out and gotten a job at a call center. Her designer clothes were gone. Part of me felt guilty, but then I remembered coming home to an empty room. Your job's done. The years of lies. I already lost you, I said. I just didn't know it until I stopped being useful. That's not fair. Ivy,
Did you ever once ask Mom where she got the money to pay for your things? Did you ever question how she could afford $8,000 for tuition but couldn't help me with textbooks? I thought you made more money than you said. Why would I lie about that? She didn't have an answer. You know what the saddest part is? I would have given you anything if you'd just been honest. If Mom had said, "I'm struggling, can you help?" I would have helped. But instead, you took my room, my money, my entire future, and then made me feel selfish for being upset. We can fix this, Ivy said desperately. We can be a family again. No, I said, we can't, because we never were. I got in my car and drove away. In my rearview mirror, I saw Ivy standing there, holding that unread letter. 6 months later, I moved into my own apartment, a real one-bedroom with windows facing east. I hung my college graduation photo on the wall. I bought furniture that was actually mine. Mom sent emails sometimes. Aunt Paula called from blocked numbers. Ivy sent Facebook requests I deleted. I didn't respond to any of it. Because here's what I learned. Some people will only value you for what you can provide. They'll drain you dry and call it love. They'll take everything and convince you it's your duty to give more. And when you finally say no, they'll tell you you're the one destroying the family. Last week, Tasha and I were having coffee when her phone buzzed. What? I asked. A mutual friend says your mom's telling people you stole money from her and abandoned the family. I sipped my coffee. What else is new? Aren't you angry? Not really. People who know me know the truth. People who believe her weren't worth keeping anyway. Tasha nodded. Do you ever regret it, taking them to court? I thought about my empty childhood bedroom, the manipulation, the moment Mom said, "Your job's done," like I was an employee she could dismiss. I thought about my apartment, my independence, my life that was finally mine. No, I said, I don't regret it at all. But here's my question for you. If someone in your family was draining your bank account for years, but genuinely believed they had a right to your money because they raised you, would you still press charges knowing it would cost you every relationship you've ever had? Or would you walk away and let them keep it just to avoid being called the villain?